course, even though he was at the wedding last week, he's still kept his finger on the pulse for all the under-18s action. He's Dale Smyth.
Thanks very much, Dick. And probably an interesting round of football this week. The local derby, I could say. You could say Bannockburn took on Inverleigh in the under-18s, and Inverleigh came out winners 11-12-78, defeated Bannockburn 11-5-71. Goal kickers for Inverleigh, Mule with 4 and Perrott 2. Their better players, Taxook, McConaughey and Perrott. And for Bannockburn, Warple with 4, Stone Husson and Chamberlain 2 each. Better players there, Warple, Lucas and Bath. North Geelong winners again, Dick, so there's a joy for you. They weren't convincing like they have been over recent weeks, but they defeated East Geelong by 20 points, 9-14-68 to East Geelong 7-6-48. Willoughby and Kingwell 2 each. Better players Milne, Doak and Eels. And for the East Geelong side, Bowman and Bolton got 2. Better players Soldani, Webb and Nolan. Bellpost Hill travel up the highway to the Duck Pond. They come out winners 11-10-76 to defeat Werribee 5-16-46. 30-point winners. Hope was 5 there for the Bellpost Hill side, and then 6 individual goal kickers. Better players Hope, Stringer and Johnson. Goal kickers at Werribee were all individuals, so 5 goal kickers there. Better players C. Wilson, Byrne and Foggingham. Now, Byrne has been named, I think, in their senior side a couple of times, but has probably yet to play that senior game. Belmont Lions, they were too good for Thompson on the weekend, 21-6-1-32. Defeated Thompson 7-2-44. Zach Jarn kicked 10 and will take him to the leader in the goal kicking tables in the under-18s. O'Connell with 4 and Double Dam 3. Vermeulen, Jarn and Silver Doherty were the better players. For Thompson, O'Neill with 3. And the better players, T. O'Neill himself after kicking 3 was better player. Randall and Lovett. And just on a side note there, one of the under-18 kids from previous years, Lockie Edwards, debuted with the Geelong Falcons in the under-18s on Saturday and kicked a couple of goals. And I suppose Mum and Dad will be pretty happy that he's made that transition to that next level. So good on you, young fella. Well done. Carraro sit on top of the ladder. 159 to defeat Winchelsea 2 behinds. Wright with 7, White with 3, Scott, Taylor and Manning 2 apiece. Their better players Manning, Patford and Hastings. And Winchelsea goalless, but still working pretty hard out there. Better players Sawney, Wilson and McKernan. Some interesting games again this week, Dick, so we look forward to some interesting results hopefully after the weekend. The Bellpost Hill Belmont Lions game should be a beauty.
Now tell me about Silver Doherty. Who's he? Silver. Is that his name?
Silver Doherty.
It's not a nickname, it's a fair dinkum, is it?
You'd have to ask Brian.
Is that right? One of Cogs's nicknames that he's given him?
Yeah, no, that's his name. He's obviously a
hyphen
name.
Nickname. Okay. I mean, that's his real name.
It's a bit like Philpott. And that's funny that you're joking.
They're all doing gags here this morning. It's unbelievable. Well, Phil Dickpot or someone once called me.
That's it, I did once. Yeah, I did. Phil Dickpot.
Smithy doing gigs. I'm not going to wear a hoodie on the show.
Oh, jeez.
Unbelievable. This afternoon, all the action is aplenty. Big game on last night, West and Winchelsea out at the West Oval.
Who won?
And it was freezing cold. It was a great game, I know that, but I just can't remember the scores. Grab the Addy. See what the Addy says this morning. Put the wheel estate 6-8. Okay, now the big game on this afternoon, the 94.7 match of the round. It's East Geelong Eagles. Just held on to a fast finishing North Geelong last week against Werribee Central's Jake Bourke's big pick for the GDFL Premiership in 2010. Jake, you've said it. So you
said they can win it.
You can open up the batting and tell us why Werribee Centrals will thump East Geelong.
Well, I don't know if that'll be the case, but I did say they could win it. But I don't know. They have every chance of winning today. I would have thought after going off recent weeks' form. East Geelong haven't exactly set the world on fire by any stretch of the imagination. They lost at home 2 weeks ago to Bannockburn, and as you just said, they only just got over the line against North Geelong on the weekend. And if they played to a similar brand of footy they have been over the last fortnight, I'm pretty confident they'll get done by Werribee today. But if East Geelong, the typical East Geelong show up, you'd think that they would win at home. But yeah, as I said, I'll give Werribee every single chance of winning the game today. As I said, it just depends on what East Geelong side turns up.
Smithy, one thing that these two clubs have got, they're blessed with, that's big blokes. And of course, we all know about Adam Scrobelak and the Werribee Centrals guys. They're just a big outfit. So this will be a very interesting game.
They're probably a little more evenly matched than what they were against North Geelong and Bannockburn, because they're both small running sides. Now that might be their downfall with once the ball gets in the ground, but still they've got some good kids there in East Geelong. I'm pretty impressed with the guys they've got playing through the middle. Jennings is, he's not an old bloke, but he's a solid type of bloke. and probably I think Scrobber mentioned 2 weeks ago that they weren't really impressed with the way they went about their game. Dean O'Hara is one of those laconical players that you don't know whether he's actually really running quickly, but he's just a loper around the ground. When he's going really well, you know that East Geelong are up and about. I reckon it's going to be a great contest. Hall on the wing is the bloke that I'm really impressed with over recent weeks.
He was
I think
good
his
again on the
speed.
weekend.
His speed was phenomenal, and he just uses that left foot. He's a good 60-metre kick. So they want to have him well and truly manned. If they can man up on him and stop Travis Johns, I think, through the middle, who was also good on the weekend, I see, then that's going to be their challenge. And they've got the ruckman there, the young bloke, Sahanik, does pretty well. He'll come up against Lovell. Now, that's an experience against a young kid. So, look, it'll be interesting combat. I just think East Geelong at home, I just don't know. I think they might just get over the line, Dick, but they're going to have to play some really, really good, consistent football over 4 quarters. They won't be able to sit back like they did against Bannockburn or North Geelong and let this other side run, because they will run them.
And the thing is with East Geelong, they've got the luxury of a fellow called Adam Scrobelak, and I watched him on Saturday. This guy can play in the ruck, he can play in the forward line, he can drop into the back line when they need him. He's just such a versatile sort of a footballer.
Yeah, well, he is, and usually that's what he does. And I was a bit surprised the day they played Bannockburn out there, that when Bannockburn got that bit of run on, he didn't see himself back in the hole, which he did in previous years. And the other bloke that has impressed me is Bourke through the middle with Werribee. He's a solid bloke, but he does use his body, and he's a very good user of the ball. As I said, the 2 blokes up forward, they're going to take some holding. So the jobs for Drew Lachlan and Mark Vetter are going to be huge. If they can retain Kitchen and Rosenweig, then that's going to be half the battle for them as well. So it'll be a great contest.
I think what came to the fore last week in Jake with the fact that we had a lot of wind around football for the first time for the year, and I guess even this afternoon it looks like being a fairly windy day. You've really got to get that advantage to get the kickstart in the first quarter, don't you?
Well, absolutely. I suppose we were down at Werribee last week, and although the wind didn't seem too bad, there was a distinct trend where the goals were going. So I suppose you could read into that what you will, but I suppose Werribee's always had that scoring end of the ground. But you're not wrong. Winds, when you've got the breeze, you've really got to make the most of it. And I suppose on the contrary, you've got to be, on your game when you don't have the breeze and stop the damage from the other end coming in. And I suppose if a wind gets up today out at East Geelong, it'll be interesting to see how both sides adapt to that.
Well, one thing's for certain, it's some of the best facilities in football now at the East Geelong ground. It'll be a fantastic, great facilities, and of course, this is O'Leary's magnificent breast of chicken sandwiches are an absolute to the forefront out there. Magnificent they are indeed, and it'll be a great afternoon. If you can't get out there, folks, at 1:30 this afternoon on 94.7 The Pulse, it is the match of the round. Dale, Jake, and probably Jason Doherty still...
No, he's off this week.
Off? Okay, well, he's got another wedding. He's going on a wedding, has he?
Oh, I'm not too sure.
Oh, we don't have a go.
Jason this week.
They might have an away game, I think.
One thing we know for sure, the boys will be there. Tune in at 1:30, be a great afternoon of sport, and also a great call coming up indeed with a great game of local football. We're going to take a break. When we come back, we'll talk about all the other big games on this afternoon. Back after this.
Thank you very much.